Hello students, let us solve one another problem from Pathfinder Physics. You can pause this video if you haven't given this question a try, right? So now let's proceed forward to the solution of this problem. So in this cyclic process, these three processes are given A to B, B to C and C to A, right? So of course, just looking at the diagram, we know that the process C to A is going to be isochoric process, and also the process from B to C or simply B to C, C to B, whatever you want to say, right? So this process C to B is basically a straight line that is passing through the origin. So we can just write a equation of the straight line passing through the origin. So y axis is T temperature. So T equal to some constant. Let's say that constant is K into the x axis, that is V, right? And here in terms of T, I can use the ideal gas equation. I can write here as PV by R, right? So V gets cancelled. The value of P is coming out to be constant K into R. That is also a constant, right? So for the process B to C, for the process B to C, we can say that pressure will remain constant, है ना? Pressure constant आ गया, right? So BC is an isobaric process, CA is an isochoric process, and AB is a special type of process for which we are given the equation, right? So the equation is T equals B times V square, right? So what can we get from here? If we want to write this equation in terms of P and V, we can write here T as PV by R. From the ideal gas equation, V gets cancelled out again. So the value of P is coming out to be B times R. B is constant, R is constant into V. Again, we can see here that pressure is increasing linearly with the volume, right? So in this process A to B, as the volume is increasing from A to B, pressure is also increasing, right? And from B to C, the pressure will remain constant, and from C to A, you can see here that this is an isochoric cooling. So of course the pressure will be decreasing, right? So here, if we just have to select the 2 points where pressure will be maximum and minimum, that is very easy to say. From this point A, the pressure was increasing till the point B, and from point B to C, the pressure was constant, and from C to A, the pressure will decrease, right? So at A, the pressure will be minimum. Let us call that minimum pressure to be P, and let's also write the volume and temperature, right? So for all kinds of these uh, this kind of cyclic processes, I advise students to make this pressure, volume and temperature as some xyz coordinate, right? And why do I use that? You will see the utility of that, because if we just try to write all of these quantities as coordinates, it becomes somewhat like a game of Sudoku. Of the filling of the unknown numbers become actually easier, right? How? Let's proceed forward here. It was given that the ratio of maximum to minimum pressure is 2, right? So minimum pressure is at point A, so maximum pressure will of course be twice of the pressure at A point. So of course we know the pressure at point B is going to be 2P. We don't know the volume here, we don't know the temperature here, but we can just calculate it very easily. From A to B, the process is basically pressure is directly proportional to volume, right? So if the pressure is 2 times, of course the volume must be also the 2 times, right? So here the volume also must be 2V. Now we can also guess the temperature, right? Because the in this whole process, the number of mole is going to remain constant. So number of mole, that is 1, must be equal to PV by R, right? PV by RT, right? So PV by T will remain constant for any point on all of these graphs or all of these equation or all of these paths, right? If we choose any point, at any point, pressure into volume by temperature is going to remain constant, right? So here it is PV by T. Here at point B, it should, the ratio should come out to be PV by T. Since in the numerator it is 4 PV, the denominator must have 40 here, right? So the pressure at B is known. Now the same thing can be written for C. Uh, we can determine the value of volume very easily because AC is isochoric process. So volume becomes V. Also BC was isobaric, so pressure will remain same as pressure at point B, that is 2P, and temperature will again be 2T by the same logic that PV by T. Pressure into volume by temperature must remain PV by T. So here the temperature is 2T. Now, if we see this process A to B closely, A to B is a very special type of process where you can see that if I take this V towards the left, I am getting PV raised to the power minus 1 equal to B into R, that is constant basically, right? So whenever we get PV raised to the power X equal to constant, and in all of these situations, we say that this is an isotropic process. Of course, at value of X equal to 1, there is an exception. In that case, the results are not going to hold because the integration will differ. Of course, this is not for X equal to 1 or gamma. For gamma, it is called adiabatic process. For X equal to 1, this is isothermal process, right? For all other than that, values of X, we can directly use the value of heat capacity for the this polytropic process, that is C equal to CV minus R divided by X minus 1, right? So CV for monatomic gas is going to be 3R by 2 minus of R divided by minus 1, that will become minus 2. So it actually becomes 2R, right? So heat capacity for process AB is going to be 2R. It is given that the gas absorbs 120 joule of heat during the process A to B, right? So during the process A to B, the change in temperature is going to be 40 minus T, right? So final temperature minus initial temperature. This is going to be the temperature difference. And if I just write for process A to B, the heat absorbed by the gas delta Q must be equal to NR. Number of moles is 1, NR into delta, uh, sorry, NC delta T. NC delta T, and delta T is nothing but 40 minus T, that is 3T, right? And C value is 2R, so this is coming out to be 6RT, and delta Q is given in this question, that is 120 joule. So from here we can write the RT value is equal to 20 joule, right? Now we are asked how much will be the heat absorbed, how much heat does the gas liberate during the process B to C to A, right? From the process B to C and then from C to A, right? So if I just calculate the total B to C to A, the heat absorbed, right? We'll just put the minus sign here. So in the first process, B2C, that is an isobaric process. So heat liberated or heat absorbed will be NCV delta T, NCP delta T for monoatomic gas, that is 5R by 2 into delta T, that is final temperature at point C minus initial at point B, that is 2T minus 40 comes out to be minus 2T, right? And plus from C to A, that is an isochoric process. For that, NCV, that is 3R by 2 into delta T. Delta T is T minus 2T, that is minus T, right? If we just add these two together, we'll be getting minus of 10 by 2 minus 3 by 2 minus 13 by 2 RT, right? So here, if we just put the value of RT as 20 joule, it will become minus 130 joule, and that is the heat absorbed, right? So if the heat absorbed is 130 joule, the heat liberated, Q liberated, will be actually equal to 130 joule, and that is our answer.